Ah, mira. Mira. Ahora sé que esta experiencia es importante para ti. Estás prestando atención. Ni siquiera tengo forma de saber si la hora que pusiste es la correcta. ¿Sabes algo? Hagamos un trato. Como cooperaste, la próxima vez que inicies el juego y veas esta pantalla, pon tu hora favorita en el reloj. ¿Mi hora favorita? Bueno, este juego es muy bueno. Te lo juro, lo que juega con tu mente, lo que te dice. Hola, Accelerator, ¿qué tal, capo? ¿Qué hiciste, loco? No me acuerdo. Como coopera, ajá. Adelante, elige la hora que quieras, aunque no sea la correcta, te lo ganaste. Bien, ya te dejo que vuelvas al videojuego. Verga. Mira vos, mano. Hola, el Fox, capo, ¿qué tal? Estamos acá en la nueva serie que ver, me sorprendió, mano. O sea, temprano cuando inicié el juego, para ver cómo estaba la configuración y todo hecho, me pidió que pusiera la hora. Entonces yo puse que eran las 12. Y luego me dijo, ah, bueno, vuelvo a ponerme la hora y se la volvió a poner, hermano. Y aquí está. Ah, tú eres. Tú eres Ranger, loco. Ah. ¿Y qué haces con ese hombre, loco? Escapé todo un pro, dice. Uff, trollar, configuración. Sonido, video. ¿Cuánto me está consumiendo esto? A ver, control Z. Rendimiento. Ah, está bien, 51 también. Mira, para estar, mira, para estar en 4K el video está bien. Video alta, general. Es que este es un juego de 2012, no sé si lo hayan visto, pero este es un juego de 2012, man. Hola, Catherine, ¿qué tal, capo? Que le pase bien. Este es un juego de 2012, o sea, haz
This
clic
is
para
the
omitir.
story of a man named Stanley.
Este es el
Stanley
nombre
worked for a
Stanley
company in a big building where
Parable.
he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Y Stanley era feliz, ¿eh?
And then one day, something very
Y un día de
peculiar
repente sucedió
happened.
algo muy peculiar.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Y se le... Pero yo no soy Stanley, o sea, yo no quiero salir. Yo quiero seguir trabajando acá como una mierda, ¿sabes? ¿Me haces moderador? No, Agus, no, que moderador se gana. Y el Fox se lo ganó con trabajo duro y esfuerzo. O sea, literalmente él es el que me hace las... La cosa. Lo peor es que te puse primero millones de... Mano, mis puntos me los gané con esfuerzo y sudor y lágrimas, mano. Puro trabajo, mano. Pura apuesta, loco. En el casino, mano. En el casino aposté yo todo, loco. Me quedé sin nada, mano. O sea, para que veas lo que se llama convicción, loco. Convicción que es toda la verdad. No se queda el palo, mano. El tipo, el Fox lo puso porque sí. Literalmente lo puso porque sí. Mano, el narrador es de... El narrador este es muy famoso en Estados Unidos, ¿eh? A mí me gustaba porque había una película de los... ¿Cómo se llama? Garfield. ¿Se acuerdan esas películas que hacían antes? Que era como un show... Que ellos sabían que eran actores y como que iban a su trabajo y todo. Bueno, hay una película de eso y el mismo narrador es este, loco. Es muy espectacular eso, loco. ¿Cómo que no me crees, Giselle? ¿Es verdad, capo? ¿Es verdad? Tengo mi queja. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Pero no puedo hacer nada. Tengo mi queja. Dime tu
All
queja,
of his
capo.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Quizás había llegado una nota. ¿A dónde? No me fijé. Ey,
Stanley
mano.
went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story
Me
in
hizo
any
avanzar la
way.
historia de alguna forma. Ay, Dios mío.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ahora este juego es muy bueno, loco. ¿Qué dice qué? Dice farten, ¿no? Que no sé qué farten. Ey, la apagué. Narrador conchito. Dios mío.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Solo por el
Click a
logro.
door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Ah, bueno, mira, me dan un logro si lo di 20 veces, mano, mira.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Mano, yo no me voy hasta que me den el logro, loco. Ya me metieron el coso, ¿eh?
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has
Hijo
to
de
be
perra,
a
dame el
true reward
logro.
for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
A la mierda, 417 clics. 20... No, 3 veces. ¿Cuánto dije? A ver. 417 clics 20 veces. Mano, lo hacemos. Autoclick, no tengo autoclick, loco. No tengo autoclick, mano. No tengo autoclick, pero puedo hacer un doble clic acá ya. Ayer me robaron mi dinero. ¡Ah! Mano, no tengo autoclick, no vale. No vale, no tengo autoclick. Me dieron la clase por un modo malo que subí ayer un meme. Ah, merecido entonces, ¿eh? Mano, le estoy dando con el mouse. O sea, estoy usando, mira, la del teclado y el mouse. Pero es que son 20 veces, hermano, eso es mucho. No sé. Mano, es que voy a durar toda la vida, loco. ¿Viste? El tipo hizo su inversión bien hecha, loco. Apostó dinero y listo, ganó. Nah, mano, olvídate que durar toda la vida. Esa fue mi queja, weón. No vale, no tengo autoclick en este mouse, mano, qué cagada. En el anterior que tenía sí tenía autoclicks, mano, pero estaba medio dañado la tecla de tanto jugarlo, lo que imagínate. Ey, vengo de acá, ¿no? Sí. Bueno. Bueno, este juego está bueno, ¿eh? Me gusta. Tiene su toque. Como exacto, mano, ya.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Literal, ¿eh? Ah, mira, por acá sí. ¿O no? Mm. Agarra con la mano el mouse y junta los dos dedos y da sin parar. No, loco, mano, me voy
When
a destruir
Stanley
los
came
dedos.
to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Cruzó hacia la puerta de su izquierda. ¿Voy hacia la puerta de la izquierda o voy a la derecha, man? Así rebelde. Vamos a hacer caso, loco. ¿Vamos a ser sumisos o somos rebeldes, loco? ¿Qué somos? ¿Leones o huevones? ¿Qué somos? ¿Leones o huevones, loco? Me están pidiendo de derecha e izquierda, van. Encuesta, encuesta, encuesta. Encuesta, caballeros. Derecha. Ya. ¿Qué puerta? ¿Y ta qué somos? ¿Leones o huevones, caballeros? Dios mío. Rebeldes, hay rebeldes. Derecha sumisa. Izquierda león. O sea, yo me iría por la izquierda, sinceramente. Solamente para ver qué va a pasar. A ver. Todo el mundo dijo derecha. Derecha sumiso, izquierda león. Hijos de perra, tenemos que ir por la izquierda. El tipo dijo que por la izquierda. ¿Por qué quieren ir a la derecha ustedes? Hay que hacer caso, capos, hay que hacer caso. ¿Qué, en serio? Mira, ya me spoileó, ¿eh? Bueno, vamos a ir por la izquierda, loco. O la derecha. De ti, marido. Mano, es que miren, les voy a dar un consejo de vida. Lo que ustedes tienen que llegar a un lugar sumisos. Como unas mierdas, loco. Y luego se rebelan, loco, con todo. Vamos a ir por la izquierda y luego nos rebelamos, mano. Lo cagamos, loco. El tipo no se la va a esperar. Mano, tú cuando alguien te caiga mal, loco, tú te haces su amigo, loco. Y cuando eres su amigo, loco, lo apuñalas por la espalda, mano. ¿Por qué? Porque somos unas ratas, loco, así. Me tarda te pruebas esos 420 clics, loco, ya.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Hijo de perro, no me lo muevas. Make sure. Money. More money. Dinero, más dinero. Cosas. ¿Qué dice acá? Viola James, you are fired. No entiendo. The stock market. Ah, yo no sé inglés, loco. Seguro que estaría gracioso si supiera inglés, loco. A lot of. Espacio. Espacio, no sé qué cosa. Uy, no entiendo, carajo, loco. Este juego estaría bueno si supiera inglés, mano. ¡No vayas tan rápido! Te vos apresas minutos, ajá. Ah, mira, que no le abrimos al boss, loco. Que el boss lo le. Continuamos.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No había nada, así que dio la vuelta, Dios mío.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
Aquí tiene que haber algo, no me jodas. Mentira, me voy a quedar acá hasta que me den algo, loco. La escoba.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Me voy a quedar acá un rato, loco, a ver qué dice. No porque somos rebeldes.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Sí, a ver, dicen que vayas a uno y el que te dice termina siendo una trampa y pierdes. ¿Que en serio?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Loco, este juego es muy bueno, loco. Una rata me dice, buenas, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué te dice, capo? No haga más encuestas, nunca la cumple,
Branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
¿Cómo?
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Hay un final del cuarto de limpieza. Tus encuestas huelen a mentira,
Really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money.
Por dinero. Ah, bueno, este le es adicto a las drogas y las prostitutas. Ah, mano. Huelen a sexo falso tus
definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here. A physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand
bueno, pero si es...
video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Mano, pero me voy a morir. Si no me muevo, ¿qué? No entiendo. Voy a quedarme con rata. No, mano, el narrador está enojado conmigo. Está como Ranger en cualquier juego de terror, loco. No, capo, de nada te has perdido, loco. Apenas estamos empezando, ¿eh? Bueno, yo me voy a quedar acá, loco, a ver qué pasa. Es más, me voy hasta encerrar. Bueno, este juego está bueno, me gustó. De Stanley Parable. A ver, si salgo voy a quedar como una mierda, loco. Así que me voy a quedar. Me voy a quedar porque aquí somos coherentes, loco. Y si decimos que no vamos a quedar, nos quedamos, loco. Y punto. Se refue el otro. Sí, mano, se fue. Está pensando que voy a salir, loco, por eso. Pero no voy a salir, loco. Estoy seguro que tarde o temprano va a decir, oh, sigues aquí, no te has muerto. Buah, sal, vete. O me mata y me reinicia el juego, loco. Mano, es que el armario está bonito, mano, mira. Ahí tiene sus cablecitos, sus tuerquitas, su cosita, eso que supuestamente es radioactivo, mira. Mira, aquí la palanca para pegarle vergazos al Bendy, loco. Su agüita, Mira, acá puedo hacer de baño, mano, mira. Ahí orino y por arriba cago. Y luego cuando está aburrido lo exprimo, loco, ¿sabes? Lluvia de chocolate ahí abajo, ¿sabes? Y con esto, mano, con esto puedo agarrar mi espacio, mano, mira. Mira, con este cable negro, mano, cuando me aburre me ahorco, loco. Lo pongo ahí en esa tubería, loco, y me cuelgo y listo, ¿sabes? Subo por acá, pongo una pata acá, loco, subo y amarro, loco, y me cuelgo, loco. O de acá, loco, de acá mejor, ¿sabes? Y que caiga acá la sangre. O si boto algo, no sé. ¿Qué pasa cuando uno se ahorca, loco? Creo que se le salen los ojos, mano. De ahí no sé. Mira, tengo mi bombillito, loco, que me da luz, ¿viste? Es como un sol de mentira, sol artificial, loco. ¿Qué te parece? También, mira, tenemos estas cajitas, loco. Mira, mira, acá van a ir mis uñas. Acá el pelo que se me caiga. Acá saco esta cosa y meto. No sé, tiro los mocos ahí, loco, no sé. Comida no hay mucha, mano. Pero supuestamente el cartón se come, loco. Está un poquito sucio, pero. Mira, no, esta es mi cama, loco. Esta puede ser mi cama, ¿sabes? Mira, esta puede ser mi cama, loco. Y mira, quito esto de acá, pero se va a ir de lado. No, mejor no lo quito. No lo quito porque el cartón que pone ahí es como para nivelar, ¿sabes? Nivelar. Mira, aquí mira, esto por si algún día me da. O sea, mira, necesitaré esa cosa naranja ahí para cortar el cable, para ahorcarme, porque creo que está muy largo, ¿eh? No sé. El tapalupas del Bendy, uy. Tapatulas, ¿dónde? ¿Dónde? No hay. Mira. Esto para cuando quieras secuestrar a alguien, loco, ¿sabes eso? O sea, le cinto la boca y listo, loco, ganamos. Paja en directo, ojo de paso, mano. O sea, mira, este es el rincón de la paja, mano. De la paja del rincón, loco. Man, es que yo creo que acá tengo que pasar como una hora. Y yo no quiero pasar una hora acá, mano. O no sé, porque yo me acuerdo que los gameplays que vi hace, conocen, 2012 de este juego. Había que. O sea, las cosas literalmente duraban como una hora o así, mano, haciéndolas. O sea, si me quiero quedar acá, tendría que pasar como media hora o así, loco. Y el tipo te va a decir, oh, te estás aburriendo, no sé qué. Estoy 99% seguro de eso, mano. O sea, yo no me acuerdo que alguien se haya quedado acá, pero me acuerdo de que había una parte donde tenías que pinchar un botón. Y en ese botón recuerdo que era como una hora o así, loco. Yo desgraciadamente no tengo autoclicker, así que me voy a fundir el dedo, mano, probablemente. Hola, Saika, pues saludito, loco, saludito. Encuestas, algo me quedo, va. Va, esta sí la cumplo, esta sí la cumplo. No se preocupen que esta sí la cumplo. A ver. Tengo hambre. Uy, mano, come. Salgo. Hombre, y me van dando ideas, mano, porque mira, acá está mi cama. Acá tengo la cuerda por car. Ah, no, aguanta. Porque mira, puedo colgar la cuerda ahí, mano, y me hago una hamaca, ¿sabes? Con el cartón. Una hamaca ahí, loco, la amarro de extremo a extremo, loco, y me puedo balancear con un columpio. Una... Así, loco. Cometa el dedo de grande. ¿Cuál dedo, loco? Aquí no hay nada para comer, mano. Es más, no puedo ni saltar, el espacio no sirve. Loco, busco qué pasa si me quedo en el armario. A ver. ¿Cuánto tiempo me tengo que dar? Está. Para que pase algo. Si es que pasa algo. Stanley. Parable. Armario. Ah, pues sí hay un final del armario de limpieza, mano. Ay, mano, pues sí hay un final, mano. A ver, ¿cuánto tiempo tengo que estar en el armario, mano, para conseguirlo? Ya que estamos. Pues sí, un final del armario de limpieza, mira. El tipo lo decía, pero yo pensaba que era mentira. A ver. Ajá. ¿Cuánto tiempo tengo que estar acá metido? De modo que literalmente solo ahí pasó sin importarte nada, ajá. Esta es ahora sí el armario de limpieza, parado ahí sin hacer nada. Vale, esto ya lo vimos. Vale, está el ira gordo y las drogas y las prostitutas. Ah. Ajá, ajá, acá es donde estamos, vale. No me la contés, mano. ¿Qué? No, 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 no. Ya va, no me lo contés, mano. Estamos perdiendo el tiempo acá adentro, loco. Mira, mira, mira. ¿Quién lo diría? Literalmente estamos perdiendo el tiempo ahí dentro, loco. Loco, el Gmod está aburrido. Loco, hay que salir, loco, mira.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came
Desde que
before you.
estaba aquí antes, ¿ah? Sí, sí puedo, mira.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a
Estoy
much
en
more
versión de una especie de
dangerous
embarque. Hay
species
un
of
mono por
invalids.
aquí cerca.
Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, bueno, ya va que tengo que ver qué pasó con... Ajá, después de esto, ¿qué hay que hacer? A ver. Me toca mirar guías, loco, increíble. Una especie de inválido, loco. ¿Cómo? ¿Ya va qué? A ver qué dice acá. Un hongo, mire, dejaré, solo estaré esperando cuando esté listo para tomar la historia. Ajá. ¿Y ahora? Ah, pero es que la gente reinicia el juego desde acá, ok. Bueno, no sé, sigo. O vuelvo a entrar a ver. No pasa nada, ¿no? Dios mío, loco, ya era mucho pedir ya. Bueno, este juego está muy bueno, loco, no me jodas. No tienes harto el jugo por sí, mano, pobrecito. No, mano, el Gmod no me gusta.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Y si bajo? El tipo ahí se subió, yo a bajar. Ya, parece que este juego se puede jugar varias veces, loco. Voy a hacerle caso a todo lo que me diga, loco. A ver. Voy a hacerle caso a todo lo que me diga. El tipo este, loco. Y ahí vemos, loco. Ahí vemos. Baño ejecutivo, a ver. To be rich, to a crime, to commit crime, to a rich. Ajá. No sé inglés, mano. Ahí me dice Laura el mi juicio. Dale, loco, tranquilo, cuídate. Extreme Bathrooms. Ah, bueno. ¿Qué dice este libro? Ajá. Vale.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Ajá, código 2845.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2854, ¿cómo era? Detrás del escritorio, ¿dónde lo dijo? Ah, acá.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know the
845.
combination was 2845.
Pero no queda otro, mano. Nos toca sentarnos de brazos cruzados, mano. No sabemos cuál es la contraseña, loco.
2845.
No la sé, mano, no la sé. No entiendo. El tipo es tonto. ¿Que quiere que yo me la sé, mano? ¿Cuál es la contraseña? No la sé. ¿Sabes cuál deberías comprar? ¿Cuál? Uy, se me olvidó el nombre, me pone el pete. No, mano, yo quiero jugar este juego, está bueno.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in. And the door
La puerta se abre sola.
and Stanley got to go along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Mira, justo, gracias. Ay, ya va. Que no sé un carajo, ya va. A ver. 2, 8, 5. Ah, es 2845. Ay, Dios mío, ya. 2, 8, 4. Dios mío. No sé un carajo, no un carajo, no veo nada. Coloco una incorrecta, ya puse como 3 incorrectas. Ajá. Cargando.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a
Tenía un
stirring of emotion in his
remolino de
chest,
emociones en el
as though he
pecho,
felt
como
more
si se
free to
sintiera más
think
libre
for
de pensar por sí
himself,
mismo,
to question
de
the
cuestionar
nature
la
of his
naturaleza de
job.
su trabajo.
Why did he feel
¿Por qué
this
sentía esto
now,
ahora cuando
when
nunca le había
yet
ocurrido
it
antes?
had never occurred to
Mentira,
him?
si yo no he hecho
This
nada.
question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Ay, Dios mío, mano, pues me volví. A ver, este no es un juego de miedo, pero me da mal rollo eso, ¿eh?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points.
Detonantes críticos que por completo tapé narrativa íntegra. Ay, Dios mío.
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
¿Y si pongo el código otra vez? Mira si lo veo. 2, 8, 4, 5. No sé qué hacer. ¿Y si vuelvo a subir, qué pasa?
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
¿Y si volvemos a subir, qué pasa, loco? Nada.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. Let's climb once again.
Solo de volver a subir en el ascensor.
I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Ay, Dios mío, este juego es buenísimo, loco, qué carajos. Ay, qué
Oh
susto.
my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Ay, Mano, este juego es buenísimo, loco. Mano, yo siempre quise un patito de esto, lo que tomara cosas.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to...
Necesito más tiempo para procesarla. Dios mío, loco, es muy bueno, mano. A ver, muy bien, ya lo acepté por completo, ajá.
Astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Vale. Maestro de la narrativa, bajo y vuelvo a subir. Ya. 2, 8, 4, 5. Bueno. Ajá. Ajá, bajo y vuelvo a subir, loco.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? Now it's obvious.
Pero hoy...
30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Rancio repetitivo, mano. Ahorita vuelvo a subir, loco. A ver qué pasa. Va, no me quiere decir nada ahora, loco. No me quiere decir nada ahora. Yo creo que se enojó.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating, and having to guess,
Y tener
that's
que...
the real thrill.
Ahí está la
I
emoción.
simply don't want to let that
No
feeling
queremos
go.
este sentimiento.
It's so
Es tan
precious,
preciso, tan
so
efímero.
fleeting. Why don't we take this
¿Por
elevator
qué no hacemos que...
ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment...
Uy,
that things
van a haber
start.
explosiones.
But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think,
Pero
and to
pensar y probar y
anticipate,
luego
to then to
maravillarnos con
marvel
la
at the
revelación.
eventual
A ver qué revelación va a haber arriba,
This
mano.
is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. I mean, this is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this
Pero,
on
man,
you.
este juego da miedo,
I had a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Ah, bueno, pues sí que cambió el juego.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Ay, no puedo bajar. Por aquí a la vuelta, ¿eh? Mano, pues sí cambió, ¿eh? World Human Being. Mira. Mano, soy una celebridad ahora, loco. Ellos son Stanley, live on stage. A ver. Todos los ojos en Stanley, en vivo. A ver. WordPress Babies. Oh, ah.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Desktop menú y no sé qué dice ya. Ah.
All right, are you ready?
¿Estás
I told
listo?
them
Les
you're
dije
going
que
to
vas a
suffer a
hablar
little bit about
un
the
poco de la
visual
función de sorpresa en la narrativa.
and what it means to craft
Te dije que
a
una
truly
historia que impredecible.
unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Deslúmbralos. 427. Mira, esta es mi set, mira. Stanley Me That Age 6. ¡Ay, tengo un hijo! ¡Story! ¡Ay, mira, mira! Break the Alec Cham Your Boss. Ah, son mensajes. Ve, loco, esto está muy bueno. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you come. Ah, que siempre recuerdas dónde vienes. Dios mío. ¿Son de los mismos creadores de los juegos mentales? No sé, mano, pero parece, ¿no? Voy en ascenso hacia mi discurso emotivo. Ah, gracias, público, gracias. Ese estaba flotando, pero bueno. Gracias, público. Mucha fama. ¡Ah, me voy! No, sí voy. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Me morí?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
¿Me morí,
Stanley
loco?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mano, ¿me morí? Mano, ¿me morí?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Mano, ¿me morí? Derecha.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
¿Cuál derecha?
but it
¿Ya me
made
morí?
a single difference.
Al armario, uy,
It
vamos al
didn't
armario, a
advance
ver.
the story in any way.
No, pero ya no puedo ir al armario, si ustedes quieren que vaya a la derecha y no a la izquierda, ¿sabes?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
A ver, vamos al armario, loco, vamos al armario, loco. Pero creo que sí me morí, mano. Yo era una celebridad, ¿qué pasó?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Tómate tu tiempo, me dice, bro. A ver, en el video, ¿qué pasa después? Ah, es que el tipo tranca la puerta después, ¿eh? O sea, si uno sale. Ay, sí, mira. Mira, cuando me vuelvo a morir, loco, vengo por otra vez, mano, qué risa. Va, continuemos. Continuemos la mentira ahora sí.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
A ver,
to his
vamos a seguir la
boss's
línea
office.
narrativa, loco. No nos vamos a despistar porque para abajo hay otro camino. Y a la derecha hay otro camino, ¿sabes? Vamos a seguir la línea narrativa, loco. Ajá.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
El narrador se enojó, mano.
Anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed.
Se les da unos momentos con una música New Age tranquilizadora. Ah, bueno. Bueno, caballeros, relajémonos porque vamos muy deprisa. Bueno, este es el juego troll por definición. Mira, me está viendo.
And rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
¿Y si vuelvo a subir? Mano, bajo y vuelvo a subir a ver qué pasa. Simplemente épico. No, mano, este juego está muy bueno, ¿eh?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office?
Ah, se
That's a
repite, se
great
repite.
question. I just can't wait to find out.
Se repite, mano, se repite, ¿eh? Bajamos, bajamos, se repite, se repite. Se repite, nada.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of
Ay, mano, te lo juro, este narrador es increíble, mano.
bolted to the edge of my
Qué
seat.
juego pa' bueno, mano. Mejor juego del año, no lo siguiente, ¿eh?
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
A ver dónde voy a terminar.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley
Hi.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. ¿Voy por el escape? Nah, vamos al Main Control Facility, a ver. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué dice ahí? Ah, son códigos. Son números. Pero yo no le quiero dar al botón ese, ¿eh? Por más grande que se vea, yo no le quiero dar, hermano. A ver qué va a pasar. Vamos a darle el botón. Que si el narrador no me dice nada, yo no planeo hacer nada, loco. Así de sencillo. El narrador dice, camina, yo camino. Si el narrador dice, quédate quieto, yo me quedo quieto, loco. Así de sencillo. El tipo no dice en un momento, dale al botón. Dale al botón, porque no le voy a dar al botón. Dale al botón, lo que ya fue.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Cámaras. A ver.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Qué guapo, loco. Firet, ¿qué es esa?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
A ver, ¿entramos?
No. He refused to believe it.
No
He
podía
couldn't
aceptarlo.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy,
Triste o
or sad,
contento,
or
¿vale?
content. Walking,
Caminar,
eating,
comer,
working,
trabajar, todo
all
se
of it
monitoreaba
monitored and
y se
commanded from
controlaba
this
desde
very
este mismo
place.
lugar.
And as the cold
Y mientras
reality of his
comenzaba a aceptar
past
la fría
began to
realidad de su
sink in,
pasado,
Stanley
Stanley
decided that
decidió
this
que esta
machinery
máquina
would never
jamás
again
volvería a
exert its
ejercer su
terrible
poder
power
en
over
la vida
another
humana.
human life. For he
Stanley iba
would
a
dismantle
desmantelar
the
los
controls
controles de una
once
vez y para
and
siempre.
for all.
Voy a tocar todo. Voy a tocar todo hasta que algo explote, loco. El botón rojo, loco. Mira, esto es como una casa, el de la izquierda. No sé. No lo entiendo, ¿eh? Algo hay que hacer acá, mano, pero... Pero ríete tú, loco, ríete tú. El perdido acá presionando colores, ¿eh? Yo vengo de acá. Ah, no, de acá no vengo. Para acá voy. 5. ¡Ay! ¿Y si lo...? A ver. 3. A ver. 1. 1. 2. Aprendiendo a contar, caballeros. 3. Ahí está el 5. ¿Y el 4 dónde está? ¿El 4 dónde está? ¿Dónde está el 4? Está el 5. El 3 está ahí. El 4. El 4 no es ese que está arriba. ¿De dónde vengo yo a todas estas, loco? Esto está cerrado. 1, 2. El 4 es ese que está arriba, pero yo no puedo pasar. Está cerrado. 3. ¿Y si presiono el 5? ¿Pasa algo? 5. Pero me falta el 4. El 4 está ahí arriba, mano. ¿Cómo subo? Hay que hacer algo con estos colores, loco, estoy seguro. Pero no sé qué, loco. Yo vengo de acá, de esta puerta, ¿eh? Nah, voy a continuar, mano. No me da el cerebro ahorita para solucionar este puzzle, ¿eh? Complicado, tendría que ver un tutorial o algo así, mano, para ver qué pasa. Ya, si presiono un botón rojo, esto cambia de color. No. Sí, es sencillo, ¿no?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his
Supo que
duty,
era su deber,
his
su obligación terminar con este horrible
obligation, to put
lugar.
an end to this
Todo lo que
horrible
representaba.
place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do.
Mano, me volví
Hitler,
loco. Tenías que dejar atrás los controles e irte. Si quieres arruinar mi historia, tendrás que esforzarte más. Y creo que esto resultará pertinente. Al comprender de repente el sistema de detonación de emergencia de la red. Si una máquina se activa sin notificación de la correcta. Ah, bueno.
Nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutos.
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set
Ay,
you
nos
free.
liberó, mano.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Presionas botones, morirás.
Other times, I let
¡Ay, me quedo
sin
sin tiempo!
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the
Los
next
toqué
go
todos, no pasó nada.
better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Toma una hora.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
Te vas a llevar una buena decepción. Ah, bueno.
Here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Verde 5, ¿cómo hago
This is not
eso?
a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Pues bye, no.
Take a look at the
¡Ay, no! Se acabó el
30 seconds you
tiempo.
have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we
Valí verga.
I say happily ever up.
Valí verga. Ay, valí verga. Mano, este juego está muy bueno, mano. ¿Qué carajos? O sea, simplemente valí verga y listo, ¿no?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Traes al armario, abajo, traes al armario, a ver.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
A ver. Y hay que activar todo. No, no supe qué hacer, loco. Yo presioné todo
Yet
lo que
there
había,
was
loco.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Creo que no se puede, chicos. Creo que literalmente no se puede. ¿Y si bajo?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A ver.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that
Porque
risk?
se habría
All
arriesgado.
because he
Solo
believed
porque creía que todo el mundo había desaparecido.
his boss would think
El
he
jefe de
was
seguridad que
crazy.
estaba loco.
And
Uy.
then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am
Entonces
crazy.
sí estoy loco. Ah,
All of my
bueno.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why
Porque se
couldn't he
podía
see
ver los
his
pies
feet
cuando miraba
when he
hacia
looked
abajo.
down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
Dicho,
these rooms were
esas
starting to look
habitaciones eran muy
pretty familiar.
parecidas.
Were they simply repeating?
Se estaban
No,
repitiendo.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This
No
can't
puede
be
ser
real.
real. Ah, bueno.
Last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose
Que voy a
I'll wake up
despertar.
soon. I'll have to go back
Tendré
to
que
my
volver al mundo
boring
real, aburrido y
job
trabajo a
pushing
presionar
buttons.
botones, así
I
que
might as
disfruto
well
mientras
enjoy
esté
this while
lúcido.
I'm still lucid. So, he
Entonces
imagined
imagino que
himself
estaba
flying
volando,
and
comenzó a
began to
flotar por
gently
encima del
float above the
suelo.
ground. Then he imagined
¿Estoy
himself
volando?
soaring through space on a magical star.
Ah, pues sí estaba
And
volando.
it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was
Estaba
amazed he
asombrado de
hadn't
no
asked himself
haberles
sooner.
habérselo hecho
Why
antes.
is there a
Porque
voice in
tengo una
my
voz en la
head
cabeza que relata todo lo que hago y pienso. Ahora la voz describía cómo Stanley reflexionaba sobre ella. Esto lo pareció lo más raro. Ah, bueno. Estoy soñando con una voz que describe mis pensamientos, pensó. Y si bien todo parecía muy extraño y se preguntaba si esta voz les hablaría, la verdad es que no voy a saberlo. Ajá.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Momento Matrix, loco,
To
literal.
make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world.
El mundo
outside this
fuera
one.
de este.
Let me wake
Quiero
up,
despertar,
he thought
pensó.
to himself. I'm through with
Ya
this
me
dream.
cansé de este sueño, quiero
I
que
wish
se
it could be
termine.
over. Let me go back
Déjame
to my
volver a mi
job.
trabajo, déjame
Let me
seguir
continue
presionando
pushing
los
the
botones, por
buttons.
favor, eso es todo lo que
Please.
quiero.
It's all I want. I want my
Quiero
apartment,
mi
and my
apartamento, mi
wife,
esposa y mi
and my
trabajo.
job. All I want
Lo
is
único
my
que quiero es
life
mi vida
exactly
como ha
the way
sido
it's always
siempre.
been. My life
Mi
is
vida es
normal.
normal, yo no
I am
soy
normal.
normal. Todo va a estar bien.
Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be connected.
¡Ay!
Who am I? Who
¿Quién
am
soy?
I? And everything went black.
Ay, verga.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
Se
got
levantó,
dressed,
se
gathered her
vistió,
belongings, and
todo
walked to her
caminó
place
en
of
lugares del
work.
trabajo.
But on this particular day,
Pero ese día
her
su
walk
camino
was
vio interrumpido por un
interrupted
cadáver
by
de un hombre,
She
¡ay! Que
stumbled
había
a few
deambulado
times,
por la
tripping
ciudad
and
hablando y
screaming
gritando
to
sola.
herself, and then collapsed
Antes
dead
de
on the
colarse
sidewalk.
muerto sobre la
And
acera,
although she would soon
y aunque
turn to
pronto
go
daría
call
la
an
vuelta para ir a llamar a una
ambulance, for just a
ambulancia,
few
por sus
brief
breves instantes
moments,
Mariela
she
pensó que era
considered the
ese hombre...
strange man.
¿Cómo?
He was obviously
Era obvio que
crazy.
estaba loco, de
This
eso
much
estaba
she knew.
segura.
Everyone knows what
Todo el mundo
crazy
sabe
people
aspecto
look
tienen
like.
los
And
locos.
in that moment,
Y
she
ese momento
thought to
pensó en la
herself
suerte que
how
tenía de
lucky she
ser
was
normal.
to
Ay, Dios mío.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting
Era
to think
desconfortante
this,
pensar,
and in
de
a
cierto
certain
modo,
way,
ver a este
seeing
hombre
this
hizo
man
hacerse
made her
sentir
feel
mejor.
better. But then she
Pero
remembered the
después
meeting
recordó
she
la
had
reunión que
scheduled
había
for that
programado
day,
para aquel
a
día,
very important
con gente muy
one,
importante
whose
cuya
impressions of
opinión
her
sobre ella
would affect
afectaría
her
su
career,
carrera,
and by
y
extension,
por lo
the
tanto el
rest of
resto de
her
su
life.
vida.
She had no time for this,
No tenía
so it
tiempo
was
para
only
esto,
a
así que
moment
permaneció un
that she
momento ahí
stood,
mirando el
looking
cadáver.
down at the body. And then she turned
Después
away.
giró y salió corriendo. Mano, pero este juego, ¿qué, loco? Este juego, Dios mío. Mano,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
esto es un
mean?
puto loop, loco.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Ya,
simply
quiero
missed
ver
the
qué
memo.
pasa si mientras voy bajando la escalera sigo derecho, ¿sabes? Porque yo me quedé ahí. Ahí me quedé, loco. ¿Cómo? ¿Qué input, loco? Se puso morado. ¿Ah? No sé qué hice, loco, para que se pusiera morado. Mano, este juego está lleno de cosas, mano. Es que es muy bueno.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it, no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ve. No sé, mano, estoy atontado, mano. La historia del juego está buena, ¿eh? O sea, es como...
Stanley came to a set of
Eres
two
un
open
loco y
doors.
punto,
He
mano.
entered the
Literal.
door on his left.
Literalmente eres un loco y punto, loco.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
No sé, mano, yo disfruto este juego, loco. Aunque no venga ni Cristo acá,
Stanley
loco.
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase,
Yo me la paso
Stanley
bien.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A ver.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished?
¿Ya va qué?
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
Mano?
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason
¿Qué?
at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close
¿Ya va qué?
automatically
¿Está
behind him
cambiando o
wherever
no?
he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Se estaban
No,
repitiendo.
Stanley
No,
said to
pensé
himself,
Stanley, todo es
"This is
demasiado
all
extraño,
too
no puede ser
strange. This
real.
can't be real." And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! he
Ah, pero
yelled.
se está repitiendo
This
esto,
is
si ya lo
all a
vimos.
dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to
Sí,
have
¿no?
finally found an answer, an explanation.
Momento
His
loop, literal,
coworkers
¿eh?
weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job.
Ya, voy a cerrarlo y volver a abrir, loco, porque... Porque sí, empezar de cero, vamos. A ver, porque es que ya eso ya lo vi.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
No entiendo, loco, no entiendo este juego, loco, o sea, está muy bueno, ¿eh? Ahora sale el input de acá. Input received 2. ¿Qué? Mira.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Está la sala de los empleados, mano, a ver.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No puedo ver nada, ¿no? No.
Yes, really worth it in the room. A room
Una
so
habitación
utterly
tan
captivating,
cautivadora que,
even
aunque
though
todos
all
sus
your
colegas hayan
coworkers have
desaparecido de forma
mysteriously vanished,
misteriosa,
here you
te
sit
sientas
looking
aquí
at
para ver
these
las
chairs and
sillas
some paintings.
y unas
Really
pinturas.
worth it.
Efectivamente, le vale la pena. Bueno, este es el nuevo armario, mano.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Ese por dónde se fue, man. A ver, ¿qué hora marca? Marca que son las 10, pero yo puse que
Stanley
eran las
sat
7.
around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was
Y
no
no
more,
había más.
he decided that
Entendía
the
que el
game
juego
was
estaba
trying
tratando de
to send
decirle
a
algo.
message.
¿Entendió? Que el juego estaba muy bueno, loco. Mano, acá, mira, este hace mi nueva habitación, loco. No puedo cerrar la puerta. Mira, aquí sí tengo comida, mano. Tengo café, mira. Este va a ser... No, no sé. Mira, esto, quito el sofá lo que esto va a ser la esquina de las heces, lo que esto va a ser el baño. No, esa platita, es lo que la planta. Eso. A ver, ¿qué más hay por acá? ¿Qué dice acá? Ay, dad. Ah, no, uno dad. Ah, mejor papá. Bueno, salgo.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Mira la puerta a su izquierda. ¿Y si continúa, qué pasa? Si continúa, ¿qué pasa? Mano, ¿para dónde voy? ¿Derecha o izquierda, loca? Le hacemos caso, ¿no? Vamos a hacerle caso, loco. Ah, no, mira, para allá está la sala de coso. A ver.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, mira. Este ya no tiene
But
flecha para
Stanley
arriba, para
didn't
subir.
want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
No puedo bajar más, mierda. Left. Left es izquierda, pero no puedo ir a la derecha. Si es todo rebelde.
Oh, no.
Ay,
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
hijo de perra, qué susto me pegó, loco.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear.
¿Puedes esperar un minuto, por favor?
No, let's see. We went down right,
Fuimos por
left,
derecha, izquierda,
down,
abajo,
left,
izquierda, derecha.
right. Yep, okay,
Muy bien,
okay,
ya
yes.
lo encontré, ajá.
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Me va a atropellar. ¿Me va a atropellar o qué? A ver. Ah, bueno.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to Who am I kidding?
A quien quiero engañar, ya lo arruinamos todo. Toda la historia no sirve para nada. Ah, bueno. Y si en lugar de hacer por el tiempo tratando de arreglar esto...
We'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Hijo de perra, me envió el inicio. Mano, me envió el inicio.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Hijo de
decided to go
perra,
to
me
the
dejó.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Me volvió el inicio, la mierda seca esa, loco. A ver, ¿y cuál es el que está encendido ahora, mano? El del input. ¿Dónde está el del input, loco? No sale. Sí, mano, me tiene dando vueltas la cosa, el tipo de ese loco. A ver.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Todo debería estar...
Oh, did something
Algo
change?
cambió. Ah, bueno.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you?
¿Sí el que
Well,
escribió
the
la
story
historia?
was right here just a
Estaba
minute
aquí hace
ago.
un
I
minuto.
know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Mano, ¿para dónde voy? No puedo ir por acá, esto está tapado. A ver, por acá. Bueno, ¿cuál voy? Son muchas puertas, son demasiadas posibilidades, loco. Voy para acá.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
¡No, hijo de perra! ¡Me reinició!
All of his co-workers were good. What could it mean?
Ay,
Stanley
Dios
decided to
mío.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No está el PC del input, ¿eh? Ahora no hay puertas.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
A ver, ¿qué nos pasamos? El cosa nos pasamos. Ah, esto es distinto, ¿eh?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Verga, a ver.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Ah, bueno.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely
Ya que he
forgotten what we
olvidado
were
por completo lo
supposed
que
to be
tendríamos
doing,
que hacer, ¿qué te
how
parece
about
esto?
this? You
Ganaste,
win!
felicidades.
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Ganamos.
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
No
I don't
ganamos.
think you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, me reinició miércoles. A ver.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Puse una línea para que no me perdiera, la que esté buenísimo. Me puso una línea para que no me perdiera. Y me la voy a pasar por los huevos la línea.
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
Derrame, se le derramó el café, la que. Yo siguiendo la línea, el pues se le derramó el café, la que increíble.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, Are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Vio que me
Now, we can
escuches.
both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
Bien,
Now, if
entonces si
my
mi experiencia de
experience
tu
of your
existencia
existence
reside dentro de tu
rests inside of
experiencia
your
subjetiva de
subjective
esta
experience
oficina,
of this office, is this
esa es
office
la
in
oficina
fact
esqueleto
the
de mi propia
skeleton of my
construcción
own
subjetiva
relative
mental como experiencia
experiential
relativa. Ay, Dios
meta-subjective
mío, ¿qué
construct?
estás diciendo este sujeto?
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to
Bien,
apologize.
quisiera disculpar, pero
Not
no sé
sure
dónde
where I
quería
was
llegar
going with
con
all
todo
that.
esto.
You know what?
¿Sabes
I think
qué?
what we need
Creo que en
right
este
now
momento
is
necesitamos
a
un
bit of
poco de
music
música
to
para
lighten the
relajarnos.
mood.
Qué buena canción para relajarnos, mano. ¿Y subí por acá? ¿Qué? ¿Ya qué? Aguanta, ¿qué pasó? Ya me perdí, mano, tenía que seguir una línea. Ah, de acá vengo, Dios mío. Tararara, tan, tan, torom, tarararararara, tararara. Ay, Dios mío. Haciendo yo, loco, ¿qué está sucediendo, man? Bueno, pero si esto está piquísimo, loco, como que mucho cerebro, poca diversión, loco. Está buenísimo. Dios mío, mano.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Es el techo.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Mano, volvimos a la oficina. Bueno, sigo la línea, a ver. Sigo mi línea.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
El diablo todo reinicia, bueno. Detiene de su pendejo, loco. No sé qué está pasando.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people.
Somos personas inteligentes, ¿no
Why can't we
crees?
make up our own story?
No podemos crear nuestra propia historia,
Something
la emocionante duda es
exciting,
misterio.
mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
A ver. Pero si mi línea me siento pete.
Yes, This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a
Cuando
new
camino
path.
una historia nueva,
Sorry,
cualquier
but it
cosa
could be
podría
anything.
pasar.
What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
Esa es la
Use your
imaginación.
imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
A ver, yo quiero que salga un perro acá, un gato, ¿sabes? Y me dé una espada.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
Dios mío, ya me estoy mareando, ¿eh? ¡Ey, mi línea! Ah, se metió para arriba.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a
Tiene que haber una
reverse
puerta
door
opuesta que lleva hacia
and that
aquí.
in turn
Y a su
means
vez
that
eso
our
significa que nuestro
destination
destino se corresponde con el origen de la puerta opuesta contra invertida.
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ha jugado el final de confusión durante 17 minutos 42 segundos.
That's what this is.
Desvíate a la sala de mantenimiento para llegar al monitor. Narrador reinicia la partida. Primer reinicio. ¿De verdad sí está todo decidido? Segundo, los finisieros ahora tienen una salida a la vuelta. Entonces segundo programa reinicia de nuevo. Y después, ¿qué pasa? Octavo reinicio, ¿ah?
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
Cuarto reinicio.
I don't want it to be.
Adéntrate, tener explorado. Vuelve a encontrar la línea. Encuentra el cronograma al final de la confusión. Narrador reinicia la partida. Pero se olvida de los reinicios anteriores. Tal intenta jugar la historia, pero no se permite. No puede ir a ninguna parte sin hacer nada. Volvimos al ciclo. Mira, las dos puertas llevan la misma sala, Dios mío. Encuentra la línea, empieza a seguir la línea, encuentra réplicas idénticas de la oficina que empezó a deteriorar. Intenta inventar una historia aquí. El narrador reinicia la partida, séptimo reinicio. No hay oficina, solo un espacio negro. Deambula por lo que encuentra una librería. Aburrete y vete, lo reinicia la partida. El narrador se ha ido después de mucho tiempo. Stanley muere. Ah, bueno.
Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we?
Ya lo descubrimos, ¿no? En algún momento. Bien, mientras tanto. Ay, no me lo puedo creer, loco.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
¿Alguien me está siguiendo? No sé, al final se va a convertir en un juego de terror esto.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Que esto fue el final de la confusión, man, o sea, literalmente. A ver. ¿A dónde termina ahora, mano?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Armario God, armario sellado, mano. Bueno, no sé si dejarlo por acá porque ya estoy mareado, mano.
Okay,
El
I think
cerebro
we
ya no
know
me da
the
para
drill by
más.
now.
Voy a darle a salir al menú, loco, y no sé si mañana hago un segundo capítulo de esto, pero está bueno el juego, me
Bravo,
gustó,
now
eh.
ducks.
La verdad es que me gustó. La verdad es que me gustó y bastante, la verdad, eh. Pero no sé si hacer un capítulo mañana de esto. Ay. Sí, loco, el closet estaba sellado para que no volviese a entrar. Dios mío, loco, buenísimo este juego, me gustó bastante. Loco, a mí también, bueno, estoy extenuadamente cansado de la cabeza, loco. Bueno, capaz, si les gustó, bueno, y si no, me chupo un huevos, chavos.